Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to speak at the 10th Innovate Finance Global Summit. I've enjoyed hearing some of the discussions and many of the presentations so far, which leads me to query, why did the PowerPoint presentation cross the road? To get to the other slide? Oh, well. Now, as you can see, I'm going to be brief. Now, the City of London Corporation has been very proud to support Innovate Finance's Global Summit for over 10 years. And over this time, the fintech landscape has not only transformed, but this industry has transformed the whole of the UK's financial and professional services sector, of which it is now very clearly an integral part. And this is in no small measure due to the outstanding work that Janine and Innovate Finance and many of the innovators here in this hall have been striving for over this past decade. Now, as Lord Mayor, I like to point out that I am, just for this year, head of the world's oldest democratic workers and residents cooperative, the governing body of this square mile. And as part of that, I am an ambassador for the UK's financial and professional services sector, which grew up here in the city, but which is, of course, a nationwide industry. Now, the theme of this year's mayoralty is Connect to Prosper. We're celebrating the many knowledge miles of our square mile, the world's coffee house. Within just 2 miles of here, we have over 40 learned societies, 70 higher education institutions, and 130 research institutes. And this creates an enormous network of knowledge connections among science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics, and finance. I would also point out that we have 615,000 workers here in the City of London, a record high, up, believe it or not, since the Brexit vote in 2016 from 525,000, a net increase of 90,000. And in addition, with just over 1% of the world's population, the UK is the location for 15% of global assets under management, and that too is up since 2016 by 3%. This makes us the second largest investment management center in the world. And thus, we in the corporation are delighted that the UK remains the global leader in attracting capital and investment in fintech. We are the largest single fintech hub for investment outside the United States, attracting $5.1 billion across 409 deals last year in 2023. It's been a challenging environment, but we've also seen the rise of 4 unicorns. Castore, a tech-enabled sportswear brand, TapTapSend on remittances, and 2 AI firms, Quantexa and the generative AI firm Synthesia. Now, this year's program of Connect to Prosper has 6 initiatives, 2 of which are very relevant to today's event, one on AI and one on smart economies networks. On AI, the UK is in a uniquely strong position to benefit and currently receives about half of all Europe's investment into AI. And given its increased importance to all of us, it's essential that AI is developed and deployed in ways that benefit society while minimizing potential harm. So the 695th Lord Mayor's Ethical AI Initiative promotes the use of ISO standards on AI management systems by firms, and we also offer courses for AI builders and deployers. In the 23 weeks since we launched the initiative, well over 4,000 participants from over 300 organizations in 45 countries have taken our one-day course on ethical AI. We've also brought together over 25 countries against the ISO 42001 standard. This is the standard for the responsible deployment of AI systems across firms. And we're having an event in Brussels next month on the 14th of May, where over 25 countries will be signing the Walbrook AI Accord to harmonize the global infrastructure for AI assurance standards across many industries, including finance. The second initiative, the Lord Mayor's Smart Economy Networks initiative, is working to develop further open data standards, largely based on the X-Road open source infrastructure, very much in line with the City of London's Vision for Economic Growth, which was published last year, and within that, a framework for a digital-first economy. Now, with fintech evolving so rapidly, we cannot afford to rest or rely on our past successes. You may have seen an editorial I wrote in City AM this morning, pointing out that there were two areas where we still need further work: ISO standards on UPI and anti-fraud. On ISO standards on UPI, I visited India earlier this year, which has become the world leader in instant payments due to the success of the Unified Payments Interface. If you haven't been to India, you can actually give a beggar in the street a single rupee, and they will actually get it. I don't think we could even begin to deploy a payment in the United Kingdom for less than 100 rupees. So it is very clear that other markets are taking advantage of this and signing up to UPI in their payment systems. And we in the UK need to do the same if we are not to be left behind. We need to implement the Future of Payments Review and bring the UK up to ISO 222, the Global Payments Messaging Standard. So UK fintechs can interact with counterparts in India, so 2.1 million Indians in the diaspora here in the United Kingdom can connect back home. And surely we can keep up with Singapore, the UAE, and may I point out another country well connected to India's UPI, France. So let's get moving. I think the second thing is, at the same time, anti-money laundering. When I was sheriff in 2019 to 2021, my theme was very much strengthening and simplifying anti-money laundering. And my mantra at that time was, if Britain is open for business, try opening a bank account. We have a lot of work to do, and it's gotten worse. Consumers are facing industrial-level fraudsters and cyber criminals. Fraud is out of control. The official numbers are that 40% of crime last year in the United Kingdom was fraud. Well, I've got news for you. That was grotesquely underreported. Our consumers need to be protected, and that's really by an industrial response, and that's one that arguably should be led by India. It's not about putting heads on sticks, it's about getting the job done. Now, the City of London Corporation and partner organizations are encouraging a greater role for tech companies, particularly around sharing the data that can make anti-fraud work much, much more effective. We need to protect individuals at source, make best use of the innovative capabilities of our industry to harness technology for good. Industry must provide the first line of defense against fraud, and perhaps the second and the third. And it's through better collaboration and data sharing at a business-to-business level that we will achieve that. So, looking forward, as we all reflect on the successes of the past decade, which are manifest, still we need to learn from our experiences so that in future we can be just as bold in embracing innovation, ensuring we are out in front rather than left behind. We need to remove barriers to competition, participate in the latest global successes, and align with the highest international standards. And I hope that these discussions at IFGS do spark some new initiatives and build new connections so that the next generation of fintech can rise to the many global challenges we face, continuing to help people save time and money, but moreover, giving them power over their lives, which is what finance provides so well, so that we can all connect to prosper. Thank you.